Back researcher Stuart McGill said it best. Much like a scab forming on our skin, our backs are constantly trying to patch and heal themselves. But we prevent this with damaging movements that cause micro-injuries. Kind of like picking a scab or reopening a cut multiple times a day. Often we keep doing the same type of bending or twisting motions that caused our injury in the first place. This video shows you the types of movements that can keep you from healing and how to eliminate them. Most people have trouble with either bending forward or bending backwards. We call this forward fold intolerance if leaning forward hurts, and backward bend intolerance if leaning back hurts. Staying neutral or straight is generally the best option for everyone. Now, the muscles surrounding your core act as a brace. They support your spine. I'm going to show you how to feel this brace and use it. Think about carrying a heavy suitcase. You feel your entire torso muscles activate even though you're in a straight, neutral position. The muscles of your abdomen are a complex mesh of interconnected fibers designed to protect your organs from impact and provide stability for your torso. Your body subconsciously activates this abdominal armor right before a traumatic event. The best way to visualize this is to imagine someone running towards you, about to punch you in the stomach. What do you instinctively do? You brace for impact. Activating your abdominal armor is not sucking in your belly button. Research shows that can actually provide less protection. What you should be doing is tensing up the torso, almost pushing out a bit. Let's practice a couple of times. Stand up, tense like you're about to be punched in the stomach. Press 2 fingers into your side. Feel the rigidity. Hold that tightness and take 3 deep breaths. Keep that tension even on the exhale. You're forming a protective brace around the entire spine. It helps you keep a neutral spine and gives you the rigidity to move with confidence so you will not cause a flare-up. This is why we refer to bracing as your abdominal armor. Every time you come across a situation that could aggravate your back, you need to remember to activate your core. Before you get out of a chair, open a door, get out of bed or pick something up, take a second to pause. Then activate your abdominal armor. Before long, the habit will become second nature. It also helps prevent you from doing dangerous compound movements where you bend and twist at the same time. We were made to safely lift with our hips. Here's a motion we call the pelvic push. It shifts the tension from your back to your glute and hip muscles. These groups give you surprising power. Let's practice one. Stand straight with your feet shoulder width apart. Now cup your hands on your thighs. Slowly push your glutes back while sliding your hands down your thighs until you hit your kneecaps. Can you feel that tension in your glutes? Now to go up, we are going to push our pelvis forward. Start by contracting your glute muscles, not straightening your legs or bending the back. Feel your hands being pulled up the thighs as you return to a straight, upright position. You just bent over while maintaining a perfectly neutral back. This is a critical movement that you need to use every day. Remember, always keep your shoulders rolled back. Don't let your knees go forward beyond your toes. Keep your weight on your heels and always start the movement from the glutes. Now, do a pelvic push while keeping your core tight. Tense your abs. Next, if you're able, put your hands by your side with fingers pointed down towards the heel. Now we push the glutes back while keeping those fingers in line with the heels. Keep breathing steadily with tension in your core. Come back up slowly while pushing the pelvis forward. Feel your glutes. Keep practicing the pelvic push, paying special attention to clench the glutes when you start the move. This is how we were designed to lift. Thanks to our modern sedentary lifestyle, we no longer have to use our core and glute muscles. They become weak, so we bend at the waist instead. This is why chronic back pain continues to get worse. Whenever you're tempted to bend at the waist, use the pelvic push instead. Soon your muscles will get stronger and it will become automatic. You won't even have to think about it. The pelvic push can also help lower yourself to the sink to brush your teeth, shave, or wash your hands. Instead of stooping over, push your glutes back and brace with the other arm. At the grocery store, when you need to get something off the low shelf, push the pelvis back to safely get lower. Then push the pelvis forward to get back up. Pick up a pencil using the same protective form as if you were lifting a heavy weight. We can learn how to do a perfect pelvic push by watching deadlifts. If the athlete relies on their lower back instead of the glutes, they'll get injured. The back has to keep straight. The core is engaged, keeping the spine tight. The knees are bent to bring the lifter down to the bar rather than curving forward. The head looks forward and up, not downward. This keeps the shoulders from hunching. If you're physically able, get a backpack, duffel bag, grocery bag, or the like. Put about 10 pounds in the bag. That could be a couple of books or cans. Now place the bag between your legs. Activate your abdominal armor as you pull the bag up your legs by pushing your pelvis forward. When lifting something, keep it close to the body. The further away the weight is, the more stress on the spine. It's basic physics. When lifting, try to find the center of gravity and keep it close to your navel. You can get lower by keeping your feet at a wider stance. Keep the shoulders back and look up. You don't want a forward curve. Get items higher off the ground before picking them up. Often, you can tilt a box on its corner to accomplish this. Old moving men will tell you it's not about strength, but about balance. Lift smarter. If you can lift just half the weight, do that. If you can divide the weight into smaller boxes or bags, do that. Generally, lifting with your back causes back pain. Lifting with your legs causes knee pain. Lifting with your glutes and hips is painless. The next practical application of the Better Bend is getting out of chairs and off the toilet. Surprisingly, the simplest movements done wrong can cause injuries. Sit down gently in the chair by squatting down. Do not flop back as it can jar your spine. First, let's slide to the front of the chair. Next, spread your legs apart. Position your feet back directly in line with your shoulders. Push your chest out and up. Now pull your pelvis forward. Let's practice again. Keep that abdominal armor activated. Remember, it all starts with the glutes. Don't forget to keep this form both getting out of chairs and off the toilet. The stronger your glutes become, the more naturally you'll use them instead of your back. When suffering from a pain flare-up, getting down to the floor and back up can be excruciating. The floor lunge technique allows you to safely get to the floor while minimizing motion in the spine. Watch first, then we'll do it together. First, activate that abdominal armor. Take a step forward, drop to one knee, then follow with the other. Remember, keep your core tight. Slide your hands down the top of your thigh, walk your hands forward and get on all fours. Choose a side to push the hand forward and the foot back. Now lower your rib cage to the floor, being careful to keep a neutral spine. Roll the leg over, starting with the hips so you don't twist. To get back up, we do it in reverse. Tighten your core. Bend one knee to 90 degrees, keeping the other leg straight. Bring the arm on that side vertical. Roll over the straight leg, starting the movement with the hips to prevent twisting. Finish on all fours. Walk your hands back to the knees. Slide hands up thighs, slowly straightening up. Keep that abdominal armor activated. Kick one foot out in front and stand up straight. Now it's your turn. First, activate that abdominal core. Take a step forward, drop to one knee, then follow with the other. Core is still activated. Slide your hands down the top of your thigh. Walk your hands forward until you're on all fours. Choose a side to push the hand forward and the foot back. Lower your rib cage to the floor, being careful to keep a neutral spine. Roll the leg over, starting with the hips to prevent twisting. To get back up, we do it in reverse. First, we activate that abdominal armor. Bend one knee to 90 degrees, keeping the other leg straight. Bring the arm on that side vertical. Roll over the straight leg, starting the movement with the hips, and finish on all fours. Walk your hands back up to the knees. Slide hands up thighs, slowly straightening up. Keep that abdominal armor activated. Kick one foot out in front and stand straight up. Use the lunge during other difficult tasks, like putting on your shoes and socks. Place one foot on a chair instead of bending forward. You can also try lying on your back or crossing your leg. If you're in early stages of pain, wear slip-on shoes. When dropping dumbbells or a heavy weight, lunge forward to lower them to the floor. You can do the same thing for lifting, but make sure you push off the forward leg. Twisting in the spine is a major injury source. This is especially true when twisting while holding weight. Activities like shoveling, sweeping, placing cans onto a shelf, Pulling open a heavy door, golf, and tennis need to be done correctly. Prevent twisting by starting the rotation with the hips, ribcage, and shoulders all moving as one unit. To practice, lean against the wall. Put both elbows on the wall. Transition to a side plank by turning your whole trunk as one unit. Pivot on the balls of your feet, and the ribcage, hips, and shoulders all turn at the same rate. Notice how the shoulders are square with the hips. Keep the body straight and don't let the hips lead the motion. Let's practice it one more time to ingrain this in your muscle memory. Really focus on your entire trunk being one solid, stiff unit. Now that you are familiar with how that feels, you'll know when you start to twist and how to avoid it. When chopping with an axe, sweeping, or using a shovel, use a forward and backward motion instead of twisting. Reposition your body after the scoop and tilt the shovel head so that the load falls where you want it. You can rest the elbow on the thigh for even more stability. When getting out of the car, turn your whole body as one unit. Place both feet on the ground, then stand up with a pelvic push. Grab the handle above the door opening to decompress the spine as you move your body as one unit. Consider Newton's third law. Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. When you pull with one hand, push with the other. Let your arms do the work rather than your back. Next time you pull a heavy door open, counter by pushing on the frame. When you push a door, push with both hands. Pelvic push is best, but other safe options are the golfer's reach and lunge. Keep one hand on your knee and push back up. Getting out of bed improperly causes a lot of injuries. When you get out of bed, pendulum out. First, we need to roll as one unit. Bring your arm over as the knees come to the side. Push down with your top arm as you lower your knees over the side of the bed. Let the weight of your legs do the work for you. Once you are sitting on the side of the bed, we will then use the principle from the better bend to stand up using the glutes. Push the pelvis forward while tensing the glutes to stand. When you get up in the morning, be extra careful. You could be up to 7/10 of an inch taller than when you went to bed. Discs take in water all night, becoming overly plump. This puts tension on your ligaments, limiting your pain-free range of motion. Adams and colleagues estimates total bending stress increases 30% in the morning, with ligament stress increasing 80%. For this reason, we caution against exercising, stretching, or doing anything strenuous for at least 30 minutes after waking up. By the end of the hour, your disc will have lost 90% of the extra fluid and you will be back to normal. Be extra careful then to keep perfect posture, particularly bending forward. Do not pull your knees to your chest in the morning. In an 83-patient study by Snook, the group that avoided bending forward in the morning had a significant reduction in back pain. The biggest mistake we see when people wake up is slouching on the toilet. This can cause micro-trauma to spine ligaments, leaving the back extra sensitive the rest of the day. When you sneeze, oftentimes the spine and shoulders lurch forward, straining your lower back. Instead, tilt your head and chest up, redirecting the force up, not down. This keeps you in a safe, neutral position. The same goes for coughing. Cough up, not down. When vacuuming with one arm, don't twist. Instead, walk straight forward and back. Use two hands, and it's almost impossible to twist. Be aware of your standing posture throughout the day. If it hurts, you're likely leaning too far forward or backwards. If you normally stand with your arms crossed, try clasping your hands behind you. Bend your knees slightly. This reduces backward bending, which can aggravate facet joints. They were meant to be a stopper, not to bear weight. Tilting your head and shoulders a few degrees forward multiplies the strain on your lower spine. An old trick to correct this is to pull your thumbs back in a hitchhiker's position. Try it. Feel your shoulders going back and your head returning to a neutral position. Some outdated exercises and stretches, still commonly prescribed, could actually make your pain worse. Research by Professor Stuart McGill has shown that sit-ups, pulling your knees to the chest, twisting your spine on the floor, and toe touches do more harm than good. All four of these feel good because they stretch the back muscles. However, this short-term relief comes at the expense of compressing the discs and joints of the low back. The 20 minutes of relief is not worth prolonging the pain for what could be weeks. Until recently, back pain improvement was measured by range of motion, or how flexible we are. Then, researchers realized that just because we become flexible does not mean that our pain is reduced. In fact, many popular stretches aggravate back injuries. The exercise guide in your program shows you which stretches and postures to avoid. Spine stiffness is protective. It's your body's natural healing mechanism. After an injury, this stiffness keeps you from bending and re-injuring tissue. If you are bothered by stiffness, cat-cows can make you feel looser without the damage. Get on all fours using the floor lunge. Flex the spine up and then bend down slowly. The transition between should take 3 seconds to accomplish. 5 to 10 reps are all you need. Don't overextend on the up or down. More is not better. The purpose is just to introduce some mobility to loosen up the joints. What about sleeping? Well, listen to your body. It'll tell you what's best. If you are waking up in pain, then you're probably sleeping wrong. As always, we are avoiding what causes pain to give the back a chance to heal. If you have backward bend pain, try placing a thin pillow or folded towel under your pelvis if you're a stomach sleeper. This reduces strain on facet joints. Side sleepers may find it comfortable to place a thin pillow between their legs. This elevates the higher leg, reducing twisting. Some side sleepers also find it comfortable to place a folded towel or thin pillow between their hips and rib cage. Older individuals or those with arthritis or stenosis often find sleeping on their back more comfortable. Folding a towel or using a thin pillow to make a lumbar support while sleeping can be helpful. If you predominantly sleep on your back and find yourself waking up with hip pain, put a pillow under your knees. Do not do this if you're forward fold intolerant or have a disc problem. This primarily helps those who are backward bend intolerant. Try modifying your sleeping position until you find the most comfortable for you. If you still can't find a comfortable position that is pain-free, look to your mattress. When you spend the night in a hotel, do you wake up feeling better? If so, ask yourself if the mattress was softer or firmer than the one at home. Have you ever been gardening, working on your house, or cleaning, and you feel great until you push beyond the failure line? You were growing stronger until you went too far. If you get a pain flare-up, follow this procedure. Stop what you are doing. Activate your abdominal armor. Get to the ground using the floor lunge. Lie in your pain-free position. For those with forward fold pain, this will most likely mean lying on your stomach. For those with backward bend pain, this most likely means lie on your back. Do what is most comfortable for you. Optionally, apply ice and heat. Each movement principle we covered can be applied to hundreds of common activities. If you get a flare-up, you likely violated one of them.